And Mr. Servon, are you on?
Hello?
Hello? Caller whose number ends in 7028.
Mr. Servon.
How you doing, Mr. Servon?
Fine. There seems to be a little interference, and I'm not hearing you quite as loudly as I usually do.
Is that better?
That's a little better, I think. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's now 6:30. I'd like to call to order the Regional Planning Commission business meeting for Thursday, December the 10th. And as customary, we'll start off the meeting with the pledge, and I'll ask Commissioner Mr. Mills if he'll lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag, United States.
Flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic,
and the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
Thank you all very much and welcome. Sir, I'll now ask you to do the roll call and determination of quorum.
Mr. Peterman?
Here.
Mr. Servan?
Here.
Mrs. Karcher?
Here.
Mr. Mills?
Here.
Mr. Spanarelli?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Jester?
Here.
So there are 7 present. You do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We'll now look at the agenda. If there's any deletions, additions, or anything to agenda, if not, I'll ask for a motion to approve and a second.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Call the commission, Sarah, please.
Mr. Peterman?
Yes to approve.
Mr. Servan?
Yes to approve.
Mrs. Karcher?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes to approve.
Mr. Spanarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes to approve.
Mr. Jester?
Yes to approve.
So you have 7 yeas in favor of approving tonight's agenda.
Thank you very much. You all received copies of the November 12th, 2020 minutes. I didn't think I'd ever see a set of minutes where we have 2 pages to it, front and back, but we do. If there's no additions or anything else to the minutes, I'll entertain a motion and a second for the approval of those minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Call the commission, please.
Mr. Peterman?
Yes to approve.
Mr. Servan?
Yes to approve.
Mrs. Karcher?
Not voting as I was not present.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Spanarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
No, I was not at the meeting last week.
Mr. Jester?
Yes to approve the minutes.
So you have 5 yeas, 2 not voting, in favor of approving the minutes of November 12th.
Thank you once again. You also have on your agenda paper tonight the levy court action and commission recommendations. Being we only had one, they went along with us for what we did. Now going down to new business. First on the new business.
Chairman?
Excuse me, somebody say
Chairman?
something?
Yeah, Paul Davis.
Go ahead, Mr. Davis.
I just like to put in the record that I was not there last week for the last meeting on December 3rd. However, I have reviewed the video of the entire meeting, and I've read all the documents and actually been to the sites. I just want to put that on the record that I am familiar and prepared to vote tonight.
Thank you very much, sir, and so noted. Now we go into new business. First on the agenda tonight is C-20-09, Brianna Feltz, a request for a conditional use approval of an accessory apartment located inside the growth zone overlay district. She did an outstanding job on the presentation. I reviewed the site, as some of the other commissioners have. So I'll now put it up to the commission. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll move.
Mr. Mills, go ahead and make the motion.
I move that the Regional Planning Commission recommend conditional approval of the application C-20-09 and an accessory apartment located inside the growth zone overlay district. This is based on Exhibit A, staff recommendation reported dated December the 3rd, 2020. Exhibit B, public hearing testimony dated December 3rd, 2020, and the findings of the fact that A, the site is Zone AC, agricultural preservation, in which an accessory apartment is permitted per 205-47 and 205-397.6. The proposed use complies with the comprehensive plan. The public health, safety, and general welfare will not be adversely affected. Pursuant to Chapter 205 of the Kent County Code and pursuant to 9 Del C 4802, the Commission has reviewed the application, and furthermore, as part of this approval, the applicant shall comply with all staff and agency requirements as described in December 3rd, 2020 staff recommendation report and the following conditions of approval. A, the applicant shall comply with all conditions per 205-397.6 of the Kent County Code. Failure to comply with the conditions of the approval or applicable regulations can result in a revocation of any permits issued for the conditional use and ratification of the conditional use itself.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Sarah, please call the commission.
Mr. Peterman?
Yes to approve.
Mr. Servon?
Yes to approve an agreement of staff recommendation.
Mrs. Karcher?
Yes to approve.
Mr. Mills?
Yes to approve based on the motion.
Mr. Spanarelli?
Yes to approve.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, promotion, staff recommendation.
Mr. Jester?
Yes, for all reasons given.
So you have 7 yeas in favor of recommending conditional approval for application C-2009.
Thank you very much, and good luck with your application. Now we'll go down to number 2 on our new business tonight. It's CZ-20-05/LC20-13, the Fountain Real Estate LLC. Request to amend the zoning map, comprehensive map from AR Agriculture Residential, Low Density Residential to BG, General Business, Highway Commercial located inside the Growth Zone Overlay District. I believe the gentleman did a great job last week on giving his presentation, and all matters involved, we had a good meeting about it. I'll now put it to the commission. I think, Mr. Peterman, you'd like to make a motion?
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, hold on a minute, Mr. Peterman. Mr. Davis.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to make a comment how I personally feel about this one. I listened to the testimony from last week, but this property is located on US 13, approximately 1.5 miles from where I live at. And I'm very familiar with this site. And for the last 25 years, that site has basically been a pig pen. The testimony, and I don't know that gentleman that testified that has the property, but he's exactly right. They had chickens back there. They had metal. They had everything, anything you can imagine. It was basically an eyesore right on US 13. I knew there was a squatter that lived in the back on the other parcel, but the bottom line is, in my judgment, based upon what I've witnessed for the last 20, 25 years, it's been nothing except an eyesore. And I think what this gentleman's trying to do is certainly going to make it more attractive on 13. And there's no question that the Woodside area is starting to develop with some general businesses down there, because we've approved several of them in the last 3 or 4 years. So I would hope that, based upon his testimony and what I personally know, that a lot of consideration would be given that we need to clean these places up. So if this thing were to be turned down, I'm not so sure what would be there, if anything, and maybe worse what I've witnessed for the last 20, 25 years. Thank you.
I appreciate your comments, and it will be so noted in the minutes. Mr. Peterman, you have a motion you would like to make?
Yes. I make a motion that CZ-20-04/LC20-13, the Fountain Real Estate LLC. I move that the Regional Planning Commission recommend approval of ordinance LC 20-13 to amend the zoning map comprehensive plan from AR Agriculture Residential / Low Density Residential to BG General Business Highway Commercial located inside the growth zone overlay district. This is based on Exhibit A, staff recommendation report dated December 3rd, 2020. Exhibit B, public hearing testimony dated December 3rd, 2020. And the finding of the fact. A, there is additional BG zoning in the general area, and rezoning the subject site would not be out of character. B, the relative small size of the site reducing the potential impact of the future non-residential developments.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Davis.
The question on the motion is that when make reference to staff recommendation dated December 3rd, 2020, that recommendation was to deny it. That should be deleted. That was the staff's recommendation to deny it.
This is an alternative motion.
Yeah, but it's got in there December 3rd. If you go back to the, I agree with the motion that one section just needs to be taken out because the staff recommendation for December 3rd recommended it be denied. That should be deleted.
Okay, Sarah. Sarah would like to comment on this.
I would just offer that the recommendation in the staff report is one element of the staff report, but it also contains a number of facts upon which a decision can be based. So I would not strike the entire staff report. It contains much more information than just that recommendation. It's fine for the two to contradict.
Mr. Davis, I think the way he sent his motion to approve and being the staff recommendation report with the other parts of the article is fairly proper.
That's good enough for me. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Sarah, please call the commission.
Mr. Peterman,
Yes, as per motion.
Mr. Servon,
No, in agreement with the staff recommendation.
Mrs. Karcher,
Yes, per the motion. If this had been a large piece of land and it wasn't almost surrounded by businesses, I would have probably said deny. But it was, I think, interesting to hear what Mr. Davis had to say too, since he lives right there. So I am voting yes.
Mr. Mills.
Yes, I'm voting yes, because based on I see what the conditions of this property could be improved much better than what it is now, and I think the gentleman that made the testimony will do exactly what he says he's going to do.
Mr. Spinarelli.
No for the motion.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, for the motion. I think it's going to make US 13 look a lot better when our tourists come down to the state and see it's been cleaned up. It's be a tremendous improvement. Particularly, there's going to be a new building put on there too. So I certainly support the motion.
Mr. Jester.
Yes, per the motion and all said, because I walked over to the site today. I would recommend that he work with his neighbors to make himself good neighbors to each other. But yes, for the going to the BG approval.
So you have 5 yeas, 2 nays in favor of recommending approval of ordinance LC 20-13.
Thank you all, and good luck with your project. We're now down to public comment. Seeing the public is leaving, we have no public comment. Commission comments. I would like to say one thing. This has been a very challenging and trying year. Everybody sitting up here, including the staff and the department and all, we've got through this. Each one of you have done a fantastic job coming or being online with your meetings. It's a credit to who you do and to the people of Kent County, because no matter what we're hit with it, whether it's a pandemic or whatever, we have to keep things moving. It's our obligation, and it's our things that we need to do. I thank you for all that, and as we're getting into this season, I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and does anybody else have anything on the commission to say? Mr. Peterman.
I also want to tell everybody, thank you for the help you've given me. Anytime I need to go to the planning commission zone and board hearing or anything, if I had any questions, I either got them here or got them from Sarah's department, and it's always been a pleasure that I knew that I was going to get the right answers or an understanding of what I didn't know. And I also want to tell y'all, You have a very Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy, wealthy, prosperous New Year.
Any other commissioners?
Yeah.
Mr. Mills?
I'd like to say to the staff that you certainly done a great job this whole year through the challenges that we've had to put up with for this whole year, and you do a fantastic job, all of you. And to the
Thank you.
commissions here that are working to come up here, and Mr. Jester, don't come to us and say you got the coronas because you can't come to work next month. You've done a fantastic job too, and I wish all of you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Any of the other commissioners have anything to say? Attorney or Sarah? We're very good, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I have a motion on the table. Call the commission.
Mr. Peterman?
Yes, to adjourn.
Mr. Servon?
Yes to adjourn.
Mrs. Karcher?
Yes to adjourn, and please everyone be safe. We only have a few months left.
Mr. Mills?
Yes, to adjourn.
Mr. Spanarelli?
Yes, to adjourn, and Merry Christmas to everybody and a Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, Merry Christmas to staff and all the commissioners. I enjoy working with all of you, and I highly recommend that when the virus vaccination comes out, that everyone takes a real serious look at it and get this shot, get this thing in the past. Thank you.
Mr. Jester?
Yes. And thank you all for tonight. The meeting is adjourned.
Conference recording has stopped.